Well, we used to know them, but the whole family went crazy.
Welcome to today's Crazy America Report. If you're new here, folks, then Crazy America is a chronicle of the everyday mayhem and madness across our great land. So press the subscribe button below to sign up for regular updates. Now, today we're going to talk about a very disturbing story. In fact, it's a really crazy story. This has been a story that has got as much attention as pretty much any story that we've done for many months. It's the story of a guy called Shaun Runyon, and a lot of people have made their mind up about this guy, but not everyone. And so the question is, was Shaun Runyon, the man that went on a rampage in Florida just a couple of weeks ago, just a brutal maniac, or is he an avenging angel? Now, Shaun Runyon, an electrician from Pennsylvania, says he killed 3 men in his crazy rampage because they violated him in the most intimate way. He says they basically raped him, shagged him up the arse, however you want to say it. And it's a case, because of that, and because of the way that he beat his victims to death, it's a case that so far shocked but also mystified America in equal measure. It's got a hell of a lot of attention. So not that long ago, early this month, Runyon simply flipped. He armed himself with a crossbow and then hunted down 3 co-workers like animals and brutally killed all 3. In fact, Runyon tried to attack a few others and didn't succeed thankfully in killing them. Now, there's no doubt about the perpetrator of this. Runyon himself has admitted that he killed the 3 men in Florida, that he beat them to death. But he made the sensational claim, folks, that his 3 fellow contractors raped him, and that is why he decided to exact such a terrible revenge. So the theory about Runyon's motive for these savage slayings emerged last week when Polk County officials, Polk County in Florida being the place where the killings took place, Polk County officials disclosed that Runyon had made these claims. He's confessed to the murders and said that he hated all of the men that died and also some of the others that he attacked. Now, the local sheriff in Polk County, Sheriff Grady Judd, has openly expressed skepticism and disgust at Runyon's claims. He said there's no evidence to support that, and that there was actually a sexual battery test done I guess we understand, a sample from the intimate areas of Runyon, and it found no evidence, the sheriff said, to underscore these allegations of rape. Nonetheless, a source close to Runyon has supposedly said that Runyon may have just cleaned and treated his butt in the interim, and that a battery test may not necessarily have uncovered definitive evidence one way or the other. Certainly the source close to Runyon, who's declined to be identified, but was happy to be described as a family friend, says something very serious must have happened, because this guy said, look, Runyon was no angel, but if he liked you, he was a decent guy. But, the guy said, if you really pushed Shaun Runyon, there was a temper there. And boy, you didn't want to get on the wrong side of him. So, what we do know is that Runyon and his colleagues were working in central Florida. They were part of a Bethlehem, Pennsylvania electrical contracting firm that were hired by the Publix grocery chain, and Runyon's half-brother owned the company. Now, Runyon got into an argument on the work side because basically a supervisor told him to pull his finger out because he was working too slowly, and Runyon punched the boss, stormed off the work site, and then everyone thought, all his colleagues, with some relief, thought that Runyon would just head back to Pennsylvania. Now, according to the Sheriff Judd, Runyon was at first returning home. He was driving through southern Georgia and then calamity struck because Runyon said that he heard a radio ad about a sporting goods store. He stopped at the store and bought a crossbow. It was at that point, of course, that the plan crystallized in Runyon's crazed brain that he would return back to Central Florida. So that's what he did. He went to a house that he was sharing with, in total, 7 co-workers. And despite having purchased the crossbow, he also had a baseball bat and a knife. And in the end, he decided for the more close-range damage that the baseball bat would do. And so he pounced on the supervisor first, who'd called him out for walking slowly, and beat him till he was unconscious with a baseball bat. The supervisor sadly died a short time later at a hospital. Runyon then turned the baseball bat on a second colleague who was also sleeping. The amped-up electrician, Runyon, then went into a third bedroom to attack another co-worker. This guy, the third guy, fought back. Runyon, of course, had the knife, pulled it out and stabbed the other guy, who, again, sadly died on the front porch. Another colleague was hit in the back, but only once, and he survived. So now, Runyon's been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery. All of those that know his victims say it's absurd to say that they would have physically assaulted Runyon. Least of all engaged in unsolicited and unwanted body sex. So Runyon is probably telling porkies, but time will tell. He will face a trial. Unsurprisingly, he's not been given bail, and he faces a slew of charges. We will learn more in the coming weeks, folks, and we'll keep you posted. Anyway, that's all we have for now, but be sure to press the subscribe button below, and we'll keep you posted.